Yo, what's up guys? In today's video, I'm gonna be showing you guys how to make better midis or like more complicated midis, really putting your ideas out even by clicking in or even just playing. And that's pretty much it though. Let's just get straight into this video. Alright, so the first thing we're gonna do is we're just gonna go and I'm just gonna show you this loop that I made. Then we're just gonna break it down. I'm gonna show you how I did it. So and the reason I'm just calling it MIDI is because, well, it is called MIDI, but because I'm guessing a lot of you guys are clicking in instead of just playing the instrument or the keys. We're gonna go into this first pattern, and this is all it is. It's very simple. And the thing about this MIDI is I usually play it out or play the keys and do it, but now I just click this one in just to show you guys like how easy it is, I guess. But I'm not doing it. It took me like 20 minutes to make this though, so I'm not gonna lie. Alright, so let me show the bass notes. And it's just the same thing for the 4 pattern. And then next, I just put the C sharp up 3 octaves, and then I just used the 5th of C sharp because it's the 1 in the scale, and pretty much I just clicked in from there. Like, the whole thing is just using your ears. And if it's taking you a while to make a MIDI pattern, like, I know all these big producers are saying like beats take me like 10 minutes or 15 minutes, but bro, like, it does not matter how long it takes. Like, if it sounds good, it sounds good. Like, you don't gotta show people how much it took either. Like, if it's good, you're raw. Like, it doesn't matter. So next part I did was I did this, and then I went into this little run. It's like dun 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 dun. So, and then the cool part about this, the reason it sounds so like clean, is because the way this run works, it goes straight into the next chord, I guess. But these are like half chords. They're not like full chords. Like a normal chord would be like this. It'd be, we'll just do C for now. And then it would just be like that, like a triplet. But this one is just like one note of each chord pretty much. So this is like 4th of the scale and then 6th. So it just goes in, and then I just push notes up an octave, and it's just, and then I layered this. And then also, to make your piano sound good, is have like your bass notes or your lower notes doing stuff, like going down, and then your higher notes going up or going down, like having them play together, because they're in different frequency ranges, so it works well together when they're like moving, as long as it's not too much going on. And then for the second half though, I did pretty much the same exact thing. It's just I put this up an octave, and then I got rid of the B G sharp note out of the second half, but then I added this G sharp note right here to like run it into this, and this is also not over there. So pretty much, to summarize everything I said, is just click notes in, and if it doesn't sound good or that's the right tone, just mess with the velocity. Like, if you look down there, realistic piano players, they have different velocities. They're not clicking the notes at the same time. You know what I mean? Like, they're all sounding different. Like, if all these notes were the same, it wouldn't sound as good, because all the notes would just be on the same level, and it just wouldn't sound clean or realistic. Sometimes it works though. And then the next part of it is I added this second layer with a different piano. I used the Nor Pure preset, and then I just made the velocities a little higher, because this piano is more realistic instead of the other one where it's going to be quieter. So this is how these two sound together. And And then the effects on them are both just reverb, and I cut out the lows of the first piano because it's a little clashy. And then the third preset just sounds like this. And then with this one, I just put it down an octave compared to these ones, which are 1 octave higher. That is pretty much it though for this MIDI pattern. And then the next part is layering up your bass notes with the bass note, like making bass. And the next thing I did was put the bass notes from this piano. So just copy it, Control C, and then I put them into this bass preset from Lofi Panda 3. And then this is how this sounds. And then all together, they sound like this. So that's pretty simple. So then the next parts of the MIDI that I added were pretty much all just ear candy, but not too much ear candy, because when you're already playing the piano and putting the keys up high and stuff, that's like already a lot going on. But there's little like accents you could add. So basically I got this organ and just did this, just strummed through my piano like that, and then just held it down. And I just copied it over, and then put a Fruity Delay 2 on it with it set to 1/4 or 4th step, so 1/4, and then Valhalla Vintage Verb Reverb. And then the next part was I add this pad, which I just copied the MIDI over again. So I guess the thing about this that you could see is layering is very important too, to when you want to make your melody sound harder. I guess that's not the point of the video, but like if you have a good MIDI, it'll work well with a lot of different presets. So what I did with this pad is I just put this high pass filter and low pass filter on it, and reverb, and it just sounds like this. Simple. It's just to add more atmosphere. And then the next ear candy, and this is the last one, is these strings from Contact called Session Strings, and I just used the basic preset from it and put some reverb on it. It sounds like this. It sounds really good, and all I did was I literally played in 2 different octaves. I just played the same note though. It's just the same note but in a different octave on the keys, and literally you could click that and it's super simple. But pretty much that is it for the melody portion of the MIDI. And all I say about the melody is probably harder than the drums when it comes to MIDI, because you really just gotta know what notes work well together, or just listen with your ears. So it might take a little bit longer to master, or even just make something good even if you are the master. But it's just part of the game, and you're gonna learn eventually. You just gotta keep doing it. So this is how this sounds again. Alright, so next is the drums. And we're gonna go through these step by step. So the first thing is the 808. So the 808 is super simple, because literally all it is, if I Control C this, copy these bass notes, and then put them over here, it's the same notes: C sharp, B, A, C sharp, A. You know what I mean? It's the same thing. You just have to have rhythm at that point. You just choose where the next note goes. It's pretty simple. And if you watch my last video, if you're using loops, just use that method where you put it up an octave. You can find the root notes very easily. And the next thing is just, I mean, this is the most generic thing in any type of music, is either the 3rd beat snare, the 2 and the 4 beat snare or clap. And it's just like this. It's just adding rhythm, using your offbeats that sound good. And then next is just the hi-hats. I mean, it looks like it add a lot of rolls, but really you just go into 1/4 step or 1/3 step or just one of the steps, and then you just go listen. It's gonna be a 2-step pattern, or you can even make your own hi-hat pattern. It's super simple. And then once you just hear like something for a roll, you just put it in. See, you just find things by messing around. And then you can even add cuts. You know what I mean? It's all simple like that. And that's pretty much it for the hi-hats. And then next is the open hat. I put it on the offbeat, the first offbeat. You know what I mean? Set it in. And then same thing, I put another open hat on the third beat. You know what I mean? It's just super simple things. Like, don't go too crazy with your MIDI patterns on the drums unless you're making that's your genre. Like super trap, I mean, make it unwrappable, man. That's how it works. And then the crash at the first beat. I would say when you're a producer, you really just gotta learn how to compose things together. That's all it is. Yeah, we're making music obviously, but we're also composers. We're all putting things together to make them sound good. Next, I'm putting this attic perk right before. You know what I mean? And then next is just this little snare pattern I add to add some balance before the 808 comes in. You know what I mean? Just little stuff like that that don't take away too much from the room of the beat, but add just enough to make it sound different and make your sound come together. That's pretty much it for the video, for me teaching you how to make fire midis in Flstudio. I pretty much just want to show this because I know a lot of people struggle with that at first, and really how to get better at it is you just gotta do it and try different things. Like, spend 2 hours on one MIDI pattern. Like, don't think that you have to do everything fast, because once you figure out how to do one long MIDI pattern, it's gonna shorten the time every time you keep doing it, because you're gonna learn a scale, learn the notes that work together in each scale, all these different things. Even with your drums, you're gonna know what works together. And that's why I think it's really good to learn your music theory so it translates to your MIDI. You don't have to be like a music theory god or like knowing all that little stuff and stuff, you know what I mean? Just learning like what notes work together, learn one scale, and then you could transpose it. But yeah, that's just my little rant. Thank you so much for watching. Check out all my other videos and see ya.